Yeah, wood. What's going on, guys? Hello, hello. We'll be getting started here in a minute. Just waiting for Chad to hop in here. Got to get it started a little early just so people can trickle in. How are we doing tonight? Manifesto, Jedi Mind, what's up, my man? Carol Wood, Jared. Yeah, bro, you should be. Thank you. Fiat LA, man. Some of the best in the game. They're starting this trucker hat trend. Yes, sir. What's good, Oscar? We are in the studio right now. You can see behind me. We have friends in the back. A little photo set up there. Everyone wave. Yo. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. Thank you, fellas. What's everyone up to this evening? Get chatting. Nick, what's good, bro? How are we? Give it a couple minutes, guys. We're gonna get started. Hopefully at 8:30. Just gonna wait for Chad to pop in here, and then we will get to it. What's good, bro? Hair on the floor, my dude. Colorado, Dev. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know why it's saying he's unable to join. Should I end it real quick and call him? It's saying he can't join. Not much, Dev. Chilling. The topic tonight, Tone, is elevating your earning potential. We're having Chad Allen on. His name is Chad Too Clean on Instagram. You may also know him as Clean Grooming. There was a Barbershop Connect post on him. During the pandemic, he started accepting some payments from individuals in cryptocurrency. And a lot of stuff he's going to talk about is the importance of diversifying your revenues, diversifying your payments, making money while you sleep, and giving you guys some advice on how to do that. And as well as his background, he's a guy who has two separate career paths, both barbering, and he's worked in a corporate job as well. So he's going to be able to offer some unique perspectives on that. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. We're having a little trouble with the invitation.
Still early.
What'd you say?
Still early.
No, I know. I'm just waiting for him to pop in. But yeah, guys, we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. Essentially, from our following base, we're going to reach out to some, individuals that we follow that we feel can have stuff to offer. There's Shad. To kind of add value to you guys and see how we can help you out. I know there's a lot of people I've learned from just talking to a lot of people in the industry. And I just think it's important for us to connect, for us to network in this industry and talk amongst ourselves and spread the knowledge. So that's going to be what we're doing on a weekly basis. And we're going to be honored to kick it off with Chad. Who is in here, but I'm a little bit of an Instagram Live novice, so. Did you call him?
No,
because he's in here, but I don't know. It just keeps canceling. What's good, sir?
My brother, what's up, man?
Not much. Sorry, I don't. It's my first time inviting people on live, and I don't know if it got lost somewhere or what. But yeah,
No, you're good.
excited to have you on.
I was like letting people tap in. I didn't know if you want me to get right in or not, so I was like just chilling. I was like, I guess he wants me
See,
to tap in.
that was the psychology. We started at 5 minutes
That
early
was a
to let people join in. That was Ben's idea. Let them trickle in effect. But I
man.
already briefed. I briefed everyone on kind of what we're talking about here today. Thank you initially, first and foremost, for coming on and taking some time out of your day to jump in here. Um, you know, I've known you for a little bit now, and I just think you have a lot of interesting information, as gems, as you like to call them, to offer people, especially in this industry. So to kick it off, we'll just get started. Who is Chad Allen? Who is Clean Grooming? Walk us through a bit of your background, stuff people have to know about you to, know who you are today.
Oh man, story time. Okay, so initially, I started cutting hair at a very young age. I mean, I'm talking like 6, 7 years old. It wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do. It wasn't like an aspiration of mine to like be a barber. It was just something that I actually found out later on in life. I'm talking to my mom, maybe like even like last year, but she actually wanted to be a barber, and I didn't even know. So like she had a pair of Masters, Andis Masters, and she had a pair of the old Andis box outliners, not the T outliners, but the straight square,
The OG.
the OGs, right? Those still hit, by the way. I don't know if you use them, but they still hit.
I never had them, dude.
But
Cordless.
so yeah, I was kind of like a bad kid growing up, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was like always getting into stuff, like just running around. So my mom, in order to like sit me down, she used to make me cut like my brothers and my dad. So like that's really where I started at. It was just like I was cutting my dad, I was cutting my brothers, and it was like almost a form of punishment. She thought, but I actually started to like it. You know what I mean? And I just started to do it more and more and more. And then this is gonna sound crazy, but when I got a little older, maybe like 11, 12, I remember watching this show, and you're gonna laugh, bro. It was this show called like Real Chance of Love or some shit, like New York on VH1, and
Little
like the
soap
dude
opera.
on there, yo, literally like one of those like VH1 dating shows, and like one of the dudes on there was like cutting his own hair, and I was like, bro, this dude can cut his hair, like, cause I still wasn't cutting my hair yet. I was just cutting my brothers and shit. So then I was like, yo, I'm gonna cut my own hair. So I started cutting my own hair. This is like middle school, and everybody in middle school would be like, yo, bro, how do you always have a fresh cut? Like, how do you always have a fresh cut? And I'll just be like, I cut my own hair, and they're like, can you cut mine? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I started cutting people, and like I never did free haircuts. Like I was already charging like $5. Like this is like middle school
That's how you
days.
got
So
to
I'm like,
start, dude.
yeah, I'm starting off. I already knew. I'm like, if I'm giving you something, you should pay me, right? So I was making money, and I started to like it. By the time I got to high school, fast forward to kind of speed the story up a little bit. I started cutting in my church. So like this is like I'm like I'm taking it serious now. I'm like buying clippers and stuff. And when I cut this one guy who was like an usher in my church, he's like, "Yo, bro, you cut my hair better than my barber, bro. You should work in his shop." And I was like, "Okay." I'm like probably 15. So he's like, takes me to the shop, and the guy Jimmy, man, shout out to Jimmy, man, at Wise Cuts. He's killing it right now. He's got like 2 schools, but at the
Yeah,
time,
we'll drop his hat in there.
yo, for sure, Wise Cuts. But at the time, he kind of was like, yo, bro, just cut the next person that comes in. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right. So dude walks in, I cut him up. He was like, yo, you're,
Got it.
you let's go. Like you're in here, bro. Like you nice. Like, and then from there, it just started to snowball, man. And by the time I, learned how to use the straight razor, when I went to college, Jimmy was like, yo, take one of these chairs with you. Like take it to school with you.
That's
And the
amazing.
way I am, it's kind of like I'd rather ask forgiveness than permission. So I took the chair, I put it in my dorm room, and like I literally just started going crazy in college, bro. Like it was like that was when I was like, yo, like this could be something. You know what I mean? Like this can actually make me money because I was just killing it. I started to like wear the same stuff because I want people to think I was making too. Because I went to a HBCU, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. And
So it
so
was
how
kind of
was that
hood. It was a
decision?
little hood. So I was like, I didn't want to be like, yo, this dude got all the cash. So, but other than that, man, it was like from there, I kind of hit a crossroads. When I graduated because it was like, okay, I have all these clients in Norfolk, but I have this degree, and I was studying civil engineering, and I decided to use my degree, and but I didn't give up on barbering. I kept cutting hair, but I started working in the engineering field, so that's kind of where I'm at now, and I'm just trying to venture out and kind of like make barbering be like a full-time thing.
Absolutely. And so that's one of the other things I wanted to ask about. So as someone who had the opportunity to go to college and, graduate with that degree and have that on the side, and then, working in a corporate environment is very much different from the barbering industry. I mean, that's very much about the hustle, about, you don't have that security. So what would be your takeaways from working in this corporate environment and then like going into barbering, and just kind of your perspectives on the industry? What do you see as the positives and the negatives when you compare each other?
Man, first of all, there's nothing wrong with having a job. People always say like, man, I'm not the 9 to 5 type. And it's like, look, if you have a plan, it's different. If you're just working and you don't know why you're there, then yeah, it's terrible for you. It's like it's probably deteriorating you slowly. You're dying a slow corporate death. But if you have a plan like I do, whereas you have a certain goal that you want to hit, whether that be experience, whether that be credentials such as like licenses, or whether that be like a money, like a certain amount of money you want to make. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Like I'm not one of those people that are like a starving artist, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to LA and live in my trunk, and like hopefully I make it. Now I respect people like that do that because
Absolutely.
that takes a lot. But like I'm more of like a calculated risk taker, so it's like
Yeah, it's risk mitigation.
exactly. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how I could still be creative if I was like living in my trunk and I couldn't take a shower. You know
It's
what I
tough,
mean?
man.
So
And
it's
I think some people, deal well under that stress, and it's kind of like fight or flight, and that's when they operate their
yeah,
best. And then others, they need that security, and
yeah,
just it also provides you with resources to make your next move.
exactly. And I feel like being an engineer and working in infrastructure, it gave me like a more of a critical thinking mindset. So like even if I approach haircuts or the way I approach dealing with my clients or the way I approach my scheduling, it's more of like it's a critical thinking mindset that I approach to everything. So I wouldn't trade anything that I'm doing. Like even now I'm still working in infrastructure, and it's like something that I'm always interested in. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's something that's kind of like a mass. It can have a mass effect on people. Whereas like a haircut, it can too. But like in infrastructure, you can kind of deal with like a bigger picture perspective, and like you can bring that and funnel that into barbering.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think it's tough because, people can have that perspective of it's just a haircut. And I'm not saying you do, but it's easier in these large applications to see kind of the value of the work you're doing at times. Whereas if you're cutting 15 heads a day in a shop, it can get to a point where you're kind of taking that a little bit for granted, or you're reaching burnout a little bit,
Yeah,
just because it is, at the end of the day, you are churning out haircuts.
for sure. I mean, burnout is a real thing, man. I mean, I've talked to guys that have been cutting hair for like one of my mentors, Morano. He talks about it all the time. That's why he's constantly innovating because he's like, in order for me to not be burnt out, I have to do something new, and that like even speaks to Slicker. Like that like just the whole rig itself, it caused me to almost like restart. It was like I was excited to cut hair because it was like, hey, like all right, I can cut hair anywhere, I can move anyway. Like it's just I don't know, bro. It's dope. So that's
You
another
have to
reason why
be
I do.
introducing new things, and for me, like I love to cut hair as well, but like Slicker, for example, allows me to have more of an expression, and even just celebrating the individuals that do cut hair and the other people in the industry, and just realizing how many diverse backgrounds people are from, but also like the commonplace of we're all dealing with a lot of the same issues.
Yeah,
Um, so I think that leads us well into the main topic. One of the main reasons we wanted to have Chad on here is to talk about, ways to elevate your earning potential, and that doesn't necessarily mean charging more for a singular haircut, but also what else you can be doing to diversify your revenue streams, to be financially literate, and just the importance of making money as you sleep. So with that said, I know one of the topics we wanted to start off with is where to actually put your money.
For sure. Yeah, man. First of all, just disclaimer, like this isn't like a flex or like anything or like how much money like we're making or like something that I'm doing better than anybody else. Like this isn't that. This is because I saw a lot of ignorance on the Barbershop Connect post, but I really wanted to just start a conversation. You know what I mean? And like that's what I appreciated about even the ignorance that was on the page. It caused other people to comment and like it just caused like it was a thought provoking topic. So when it comes
Absolutely,
to
man.
yeah, like, and that's really what it's about, and that's what drives industry forward. And I feel like our industry, being the barbering industry, we can take the torch, so to speak, um, on cryptocurrency because as a barber, you have the power to dictate how you want to be paid. Now, should you offer a wide array of options to take payment? Of course. Think about Amazon. Amazon makes it super easy for you to order. You don't even got to walk anywhere. You don't have to do anything. And everyone always uses Amazon as an example, but like something I noticed is like recently they got like the swipe to order. Like you don't even have to like you
Too
don't.
easy.
It's
It's
just
too.
literally easy. So it's like when it comes to payment, like whenever I go to shops, they're like, I only take cash. It's like, all right, now you gotta wait for your guy to go to the ATM. He's gotta come back, or hey, it's just like I want to take everything. And then like so when cryptocurrency came about, and I guess I should kind of back up a little bit, even talk about how I got into the field. But when cryptocurrency came about, I was like, I want to be able to take crypto too. Like, if somebody wants to pay me in Bitcoin, I want to take Bitcoin. If somebody wants to take me and pay me their credit card, I want to have the Bluetooth. If somebody wants to do the tap to pay with their iPhone, I want to be able to take that. So it's like I just wanted to take everything. That way, I can monetize quicker. So like the whole reason and way I got into crypto was like through my brother, man. Like we started dabbling in some indice trading, and the only way you could fund your account was through Bitcoin. So like, I mean, you could do it other ways, but the easiest and the fastest way was through Bitcoin. So like, this is like maybe 2 years ago. So like, I didn't even necessarily know about Bitcoin. I just knew that this is how I can move my money from my account into the broker so that I can trade indices. And like once I started doing that, and like one time I put the Bitcoin in the account and like forgot because I was like busy. And then I came back the next day and it was like double what I had put in there. And I was like, so I started like researching more about Bitcoin and I realized like what it was. And from there I just started to like educate my clients. You know, like every time a client sits in my chair, I'm like, yo, bro, you know about crypto. Boom, 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 boom. So even if they don't necessarily pay me in crypto yet, they're intrigued. Because most of my clients are business owners, they're smart guys. So they go look into it, they come back, now they have it. And instead of me being like, hey, I want cash, it actually started as a mistake. This dude came one day, he didn't have his wallet, he left his wallet in the car. And before he left, I was like, yo, I mean you got Bitcoin? And he was just like, yeah. And he literally just sent me Bitcoin like straight up through Coinbase to my wallet. And that was the first time and I was like,
Like
yo,
light
this is
bulb.
crazy. And then from there I just started just telling everybody, bro. So like I just think barbers should open their mind to like you can take payment in anything. Like and where the future's headed is crypto. So like why not get ahead of the curve now? Like why
Yeah,
wait
bro.
until every other industry does it?
And most definitely where the industry is not headed is cash. People don't often carry cash much on them nowadays. And to what you said earlier and to what Ben popped in the chat, it's about eliminating friction from the purchasing process. And when you hear companies talk about products of selling, and Amazon is a great example, even though you wouldn't directly relate that to the barbering industry, just swiping to buy that product is so much easier. And if you can integrate your payment where they just push to pay, it's that easy. And where you said, like, if it's a more difficult process, they have to download an app, they have to look into Bitcoin, and then they pay you, then obviously that's friction. But what you're doing in the process is educating your clients. And, also as a barber, that serves as a basis for you to generate conversation, for you to have a conversation with your clients and maybe help them. But it's also in turn helping you. So it's kind of like a cycle.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's totally a cycle. I mean, if you're not having conversations with your clients, that's a whole nother subject. It's like I've seen barbershops where dudes got the headphones in. I'm like,
Dude, I watched a 45-minute video yesterday of a haircut and not one word was said. And it's like, and I know for myself being in a chair, like, I mean, sometimes you don't feel like talking, granted, but
and
that
that's
silence, it's
and
like radio static.
that's a valuable point. You have to be able to read that.
There's a happy medium
Yeah.
for sure. But what would be your recommendation for individuals looking to even educate themselves on this? I know for me, like, I hear about crypto all the time. I hear about Forex all the time. It's always in the news. But because it's become so trendy, I don't know if it's that people ignore it, if they just don't want to apply themselves. So what would be your message, and how do you think people should go about doing that?
I think nowadays, um, our society we're in the age of collaboration, right? Like this is the Aquarius age. So like people need to realize like sometimes you need to reach out to people. Like if you don't know how to do it, and if you know somebody that is doing it, it doesn't hurt to reach out to them because like they might point you in the right direction. And it's not that there's a lack of information anymore. There's just too much information. It's almost like there's like disinformation. So like people get overwhelmed with disinformation and they almost shun it because they're like, yo, this is too much. Like people, everybody's talking about this thing. I don't even care anymore. Like it's like I'm gonna just do what I do. But if you notice that something is trending, there's a reason why it's trending, and you should look into it before it's too late. Because at the end of the day, would never want to be caught with when cash goes to shit, like Venezuela, like the old story when the lady she goes to the store with a wheelbarrow full of cash, right? Wheelbarrow full of cash. She's trying to buy some food for her family. She has to go to the bathroom real quick, so she leaves the wheelbarrow outside the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back out, the wheelbarrow's gone, and all the cash is just laying on the fucking floor. It's like, bro, this is a true story of like when hyperinflation catches up. Bro, people aren't paying attention right now because people do a lot of online shopping. Look across the board. Look at the GDP and look at how much everything costs now. Like stuff that used to be cheaper, it's like $2 or $3 more expensive now. And like people don't even notice because they're just buying it online. They don't
Yeah.
even notice it. But like if you start to really look at inflation, you start looking at these PPP loans, you start looking at these SBA loans, all the fraud, everything that's happening. It's like the US dollar is losing value. So if you're not educating yourself on that by itself, like forget crypto, forget Bitcoin, just look at the value of the US dollar and look at what's happening in our country and do your research on what happened in other societies. What happened after World War II in Germany? What happened in Venezuela? Like what happened in Zimbabwe? You do your research and you see what happened to their fiat currency. Crypto is the future of the world. It's a global economy. And if you're not doing your education on it, you're gonna get left behind. It's like it's not even a choice anymore.
Most definitely, man. And that is a great point. There's just really no other choice. And if you don't, you're going to be back there. Um, but yeah, we had also talked about, maximizing your time at the shop when we were discussing. I mean, unless you're busy, booked out 100% of the time, what could you be doing? Also, Julio in the cut asked, what is a reliable source to get that info? I don't know if you have any forums, any websites that you go to.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's an app called Crypto News. That's like a dope app. I mean, that app it tells you all the recent news and everything going on with cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. So it's a dope app. I tap into that one. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And
But
then,
as
yeah,
far as
just
what were you saying?
throughout the day, we had talked about, when you're sitting down for a haircut, when you're waiting for a client to come in through the door, what stuff you can be doing to elevate your potential as far as earnings go.
Read, 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 read. That's all I gotta say. Like read an article, read a book, like, read something. Like instead of taking that smoke break, like I want to challenge everybody in here right now. Like the next time you want to do something that's habitual or comforting, like instead of doing that, do something that's uncomfortable. Like just trade it out. And like I'm not saying that you always have to do this because everybody needs time to reset and relax. But if you're in your workday, which is at the barbershop or doing house calls, whatever it is, when you get some downtime, instead of doing that comforting thing like hitting that vape or rolling out your gas and going to smoke, whatever it is, challenge yourself and read something, or challenge yourself and study something, because people don't realize, like, and this is like a philosophy I've gotten just off of like trading. People don't value milliseconds, right? Like, we don't value seconds. But if you don't realize that seconds add up to minutes, minutes add up to hours, hours add up to days, days add up to months, years, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, then you'll start to value your time more. You won't waste it. But like, if you don't value the second, if you don't value the next 5 minutes, like, how could you progress? You know what I'm
And I
saying? So
think
like,
it's tough too, because the way this industry operates and the way actually a lot of barbers have grown clientele and showcased their work is through Instagram. So that's where I find a lot of individuals hang out. But Instagram is designed to keep you scrolling, and
oh yeah,
people end up, like you said, just keep going, keep going, keep going, and at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself if it's value adding. I find myself doing it all the time, and if it's not, like, that plays a role in my stress, that plays a role in my quality of life, and if you're actually advancing yourself to the next level.
oh yeah, yeah. Instagram's a huge distraction, bro. But if you're using it the right way, it's actually a great thing. Like, Instagram's been great for me.
Most definitely.
Like, even like I've noticed, like, most the barbers that are successful for the most part, and like I know a lot of successful barbers. My phone's like falling down.
You're
Is
good.
like they think outside the box, man. Like, they never stop learning. Like, they're willing to pay for a seat at the table. Like, I've noticed, like, with me, like, I definitely make money barbering, you know what I'm saying? But I make money elsewhere. So like, barbering for me is like my networking catalyst. You know what I'm saying? And like, through the relationships I build through barbering, it's been able to bring me more income. Like, literally, like, I can literally speak to people that I've met and conversations that I've had through barbering that I never would have had if I wasn't a barber. Like, people don't they don't put enough emphasis on their clients. They just think, yeah, I'm supposed to just cut, cut, cut. That's cool, but like, yo, that dude's a lawyer, bro. Like, talk to him about trademarks. Talk to him about LLCs.
In what other case do you get a free, or not even free, get a meeting that you are paid for, a 45-minute meeting where you can sit down and you can have a conversation with someone, learn about their background, network with them, and find out a connection that you might not have had previously? I mean, it's crazy. You're getting meetings that you're paid for.
You're literally getting meetings that you're paid for. That's why, like, that's honestly a huge reason why I'm going mobile, bro. Like that's a huge reason, because there's certain places and people that I want to be around and be in the space where, like, sometimes a barbershop isn't the best environment for them, because I noticed the people that are the most busy and make the most money and have the highest net worth, they don't even have time to go to the barbershop. They don't have time to cook. That's why they got a private chef. So it's like, hey, I'll be your private barber. Like, I'll pop up, I'll kick it, I'll pull up to your meeting and I'll get paid more money because I came to you. Like, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm going mobile. Literally because of what you just said.
Absolutely. And you can elevate that clientele. And if you're using it as a networking tactic, you're exposing yourself to bigger players or people that can help you elevate your own network more.
Exactly.
I want to ask about, have you tell one more story before we open it up to any questions anyone may have. So you had told me about this story of you renting a condo out in Orlando and essentially willing yourself into this, this clientele, this desirable clientele. So I wanted you to kind of just walk people through that, your mindset and how you made it happen.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, this is I guess rewind a little bit, but when I finished school, I became my first project. I built a tunnel from Norfolk to Portsmouth. The company, it's a huge company called Skanska. They wanted to move me down to Orlando. I guess just going back to the critical thinking thing. When I moved to Orlando, like, I was like, okay, I have to cut hair. Like, I didn't even care about my job. I didn't care about nothing. I was like, I have to cut hair. So the first thing I bought, I went on OfferUp and I bought like a $400 barber chair. Like, I didn't even know where to put it. I literally had this barber chair and I'm like riding around the U-Haul.
Don't
Like,
even have an
like
apartment.
my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, she literally was like, "What are you doing?" So like my mindset. Shout out to Sugar Skull's Loft. Like, he doesn't even know who I am. But like he's like this dude. He doesn't even do my style of barbering. He's like a Cosmo kind of guy. But
Mm-hmm.
he had this
I
spot
know
in LA
him.
called like Sugar Skull's Loft. I haven't seen his page in years, but I remember seeing it. And he was like in this crazy loft downtown LA, like overlooking the city. And like I just like my brain was like, yo, I have to find a space like that. So like when I moved to Orlando, I didn't care how much it cost, anything. I was just looking. So when I finally found it, I was like, bro, this is it. And like it was looking over, I was like on the 20th floor, downtown Orlando. I didn't have a bed yet. I put the barber chair in there, bro. Like I was dead ass sleeping in the barber chair until I got a bed. Bro, I didn't have any clients either. And like it was a huge risk because coming to a new city where no one knows you and then like not going to a barbershop where you can actually catch walk-in, like have
Absolutely.
I literally was just like, yo, I'm gonna figure out a way to cut the highest end people. And like I wanted to cut like the Magic, I wanted to cut like NFL people, I wanted to cut like because I wanted to get around the like millionaires, bro. Like that's just what I wanted to be around. And I don't know, bro. I don't know. I gotta give all glory and honor to God because I don't know how it actually came into fruition other than just like being in that space and like I wouldn't say manifesting it, but like really just believing that it was gonna happen and kind of like jumping out on faith before I even knew how it was gonna happen. And like now it's just like a common occurrence. Like a lot of my clients are NFL, NBA guys, and like it doesn't even matter. Like that's why like if you look at my page, like I never want to be that barber that's like hanging my hat on another man's name. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that, bro. Like that's why like the whole term celebrity barber is like weird to me because it's like, bro, like that doesn't even matter. Like it's like the real celebrities are your everyday clients that come every week. That those are your real celebrities because they're actually giving you a lifestyle, bro. Like whereas that celebrity, he might be in LA tomorrow getting another cut for somebody else. He might be in Miami the next day. So it's like I would never hang my hat and be like, yo, I cut this person or that person. Like you can scroll down to my page and see who I cut, but that doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think there's a limited number of celebrities per se, and I think it's I mean, it obviously from the outside seems like a very glorious lifestyle, but there's also a lot of tough things that come with that are much different than the everyday barbershop feel. And to your point, I mean, the clients that are showing off for you, that are sticking with you as your craft progresses, as you move shops, like the people that'll wait weeks until they get a haircut from you just because it's you that cuts their head. Like you said, those are the people you have to appreciate it and grow with that clientele. So I guess to wrap it up, I got a lot out of this. I hope you guys did well as well. If there's stuff you could take away from this, I'd say it's, you know, using your experiences as a networking opportunity, never letting time during the day go to waste, and just expanding your horizon as far as what you look at, what you read, what you learn, and not just being complacent. Because if you want to be at the place you imagine yourself being, like Chad said, it's not going to happen by just sitting there and doing the same old things. I mean, that's like a tale as old as time. Um,
Definition of it.
exactly. I don't know if you have any further points. If anyone in the audience has questions, feel free to show them out. Um,
The only other thing I would say, if you're really interested in like the whole crypto payment thing, we're developing some software right now. Um, if you want to just even know how to get started, feel free to hit my set more. It's I'll go ahead and put it down right here. If you can go ahead.
must have popped him off because he's putting in the link. Um, but yeah, make sure you follow Chad. He's going to be developing this. He's going to be building it up. You want to keep up with that. He sent a request. We're going to welcome him back in. 1 second, guys. My bad. Yeah,
Damn, that shit was hating on me. It was like, nah, bro, you're not dropping no link in here.
my mom requested to join as well. I thought we might do a joint one, but
Oh, really? Wait, can't you put like multiple people in these now?
yeah, you can. But I don't think she meant to do that. But
Mom
you
was
could.
good.
We could do that in the future for sure, especially
It's
on this
definitely.
topic.
Let me see. All right, boom. All right, that's the link right there. You can tap in on me. It's like just tap in a little consultation. I'll give you everything I know because it's like I feel like the best form of marketing is just giving away the game for free. Like Because at the end of the day, we talked about it earlier, bro. Like people are so scared they're like idea hoarders, but it's like you got to realize sometimes like people aren't even gonna execute on your idea. Like maybe they will, but like you can say the most million gajillion dollar idea, and people want to.
It's still you that has the vision. It's still you that believes in it. It's still you that puts in the work. So unless in an extremely rare scenario where you have another individual that's that determined, like you said, and if you hold an idea until it's completely formed and put it out, and that's something I learned to an extent, like you're gonna find stuff that you messed up on, and that you could have solved easily by getting feedback in the process. So
No, bro, I
again,
definitely
the
got
biggest,
a question for you though, man. Because
yeah.
I never asked this question. As long as we can talk, like, what made you start Slicker? Like, and like, how did you even like? I guess without giving away all the trade secrets, like, how did you start to like source the product and like what made you do it?
So initially it was just a pain point. I was not super organized. I never was,
Yeah.
and I found that I was getting physically frustrated by turning back and forth to my station at times. I would end up losing tools. I'm asking my client, "Have you seen this guard?" And albeit like I have good relationships with a lot of my clients, like they just know how I am, but that was annoying as hell to me. And I was sitting one night, came up with the idea of, if you had those guards on you, they wouldn't get lost. And looking for a medium to do that, you see a big trend of like streetwear style moving into barbering. I mean, it's a trend-based industry, and I think a lot of the people in the industry are following these trends, especially in the newer generation. So we wanted to figure out a way to bring, fashion and functionality into it. And you can almost think about it as, an everyday businessman. They go out and they buy a suit, they buy a uniform. Um, I don't feel there's many uniforms for barbers that really, besides the aprons or the barber jackets that have been existing for a long period of time. So bringing innovation to that, I mean, I feel somewhat fashionable person, the stuff I'm interested in. Um, and also, the brand developed along with it. I think a lot of things you're seeing now, and even this conversation, is just from me talking to all these individuals and hearing what they have to share, but the fact that it just doesn't always get shared. And like you said, it's a lot of like withholding of information that
Yeah.
for some reason, like because it's so competitive, because it's cutthroat, and the nature of the business is my clients, whatever.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that ends up being withheld, and I don't think that's a good thing, and I don't think that's going to be beneficial in moving stuff forward.
Nah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean,
I don't know if that cut out, bro, but yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've been here since about 9 a.m., so it's time for me to
I,
go back home and relax a little bit. But we will be doing this again in the future with Chad again and with some other individuals. If you feel you might have something to offer that you want to share, send us a message in the DM. We're always around to talk. We take pride in having a good relationship with our customers. So thank you, Chad, again for coming on. We'll be posting this to IGTV Live so other individuals can get use out of it. And I appreciate it, man. You enjoy the rest of your night.
yo, definitely you too, bro. I'm gonna get you on my platform too. We gotta do a cut about the rest because I definitely want to know a little bit more about Slicker, man.
Absolutely. Let's do
People
it.
need to start something from nothing, bro. So that's definitely dope.
Yeah, bro. Let's set it up. Absolutely. We'll do
All
it.
right,
Oh, peace.
peace.